Welcome back to Lesson 6, Mastering the Who Interview. Look, the Who Interview is a chronological walkthrough of a person's career, starting with their earliest reasonable position to today. So if you're hiring a senior person that's been around for 20 years, you may want to go back 10 or 15 years and start there. But for most candidates that you interview, you're going to want to start from the very beginning and work your way forward. It's typically, in best practice, is to have the hiring manager conduct this interview. But sometimes they include support from HR. One person can be asking questions, one person can be taking notes. But if you do this enough times, as a hiring manager, you should get really proficient at doing this yourself. These are the 5 questions, and I recommend starting with these 5 questions. You can modify them slightly to fit your style, but there's some magic in the 5 questions and the patterns that they emerge for you with the candidate. So the first question is, going back to that earliest job, what were you hired to do? And what you're looking for here is was there a focus on results or on a focus on just doing the work? It starts to give you some insight into how they looked at their job. Number 2, what accomplishments are you most proud of, right? What in that job gave you the most energy? What about that job excited you the most? Are other ways that you could ask that question. Number 3, what were some of your low points during that job? You're looking for disappointments. You're looking for things that zapped their energy. I like the question, what in that job did you loathe? Or what in that job zapped your energy? Or what in that job was tough for you to get excited to do? Number 4, who were the people you worked for? The team, as well as the boss. Here we go again with another opportunity to leverage the threat of reference check. So get the boss. Oh, and what was your boss's name there? And are you still in touch with them? Do you know how to get in touch with them? And then number 5, why did you leave the job? And we're looking for patterns here for why they left. Were they leaving to pursue something better? Or were they leaving to avoid something negative that was happening to them in the job? If there's a tendency to always be leaving because of somebody or some circumstance, that can be an early red flag that this person may not fit that skill wheel bullseye that we're working so hard to get. So go through the interview, go through a chronological walkthrough of their last 5 or more jobs, starting with from the very beginning. And if they're entry level, start with jobs they had in college or in high school or major roles they had, but start looking for these patterns. The power with this Who interview is that it creates data points and behavior patterns that can be used to predict how this candidate will perform in the future. And patterns are the mother of predictions. So master this interview. Ask the questions the same way, take good notes, and look for patterns that can give you some insight into how that person might behave should they end up on your team as a potential A player. In our next interview, or in our next lesson, lesson 7, we're going to dive into the focused interview, the most complex and maybe the most important interview out of the ones we've covered so far. So I look forward to seeing you back for lesson 7.